doing this over 4 times because I have done that in the past. So here's to hoping that this one will work. So this series, as I develop Westchester Yoga's YouTube channel and Facebook Lives, this series is Yoga Basics. So a place where you can come to, and if you have any questions about basic poses. So this particular video will be about no more than 50 minutes long, and it is about Warrior One. The Sanskrit is Virabhadrasana 1. However, there's another way to pronounce it, which is Virabhadrasana 1, so a very soft A. And that means Warrior One. So traditional, or a lot of the older yoga books talk about the back heel down, toes turned forward, hips towards the front of the mat, and very often we'll hear instructions of the front thigh being parallel to the ground and the arms reaching up overhead to touch. However, this could cause some problems with a few of us. To bring this back hip forward takes a lot, and keep the back heel down. There's a lot of stuff happening in the hip and the lower back, and perhaps it is not available to you or me or the person who is taking the yoga class. So if the yoga instructor says, bring the hips square to the front, chest square to the front, and the person is forcing the hip forward, trying to keep the back heel down, but it's just not happening, right? The hip is opening out to the side. If the hips are forcing to the front and the knee is facing in the opposite direction that we're forcing the hips to go into, the hip is going to win, not the knee. The hip is a bigger joint. So, if it is not available to keep the back heel on the ground and bring the hips forward, take the back heel off the ground. It will keep the back knee safer. Now moving on to that other instruction. So I'll switch sides here. The other instruction about that front thigh being parallel to the floor. That takes a lot of strength, and it may not be sustainable for many of us. If it is not, then don't bend as deeply. Just make sure that the front knee is directly over the front ankle so that the knee has the support of the ankle and the foot. It will keep this joint safer. So let's reiterate. If it is not available to bring the hips forward and keep the back heel on the floor and bring the chest forward, then take the back heel off the floor. If you feel wobbly, heel toe the feet to the edges of the mat. Just make the feet wider. Now for the upper body. Very often we'll hear instructions, bring the hands up overhead and join the fingers together. But then there'll be another instruction that says, release the shoulders away from the ears. So for some of us, again, just like that back heel, it might not be available to get the hands all the way up and straight and the shoulders away from the ears. So facing you here, shoulders away from the ears. Notice that my hands come forward a little bit, and I can feel a whole lot of tension in my shoulders. So another version is the hands straight up. And with the hands straight up and not interlaced, I definitely have more room to release the shoulders away from the ears. Okay, so that is Warrior 1, Virabhadrasana 1. And for a review, key instructions are hips and chest towards the front of the room, front knee over front ankle, arms straight up overhead and shoulders away from the ears. And remember to engage the abs to have a safe, secure lower back and a gaze straight out in front. Thank you for joining me. Remember that our website is WYoga Online, WYoga.online. So instead of .com, it's .online. On Instagram, our tag is Westchester Yoga. And on